Welcome back, guys, to Factorio Recursion. So, this is officially the last ore left on the island, and I am patiently, or impatiently rather, waiting for it to get mined up so that we can start work on, well, the actual rail system. These are all just sort of ideas. It's hard to really lay the thing out when we can't see what the whole thing's going to look like. We've got a silly amount of ore in here. I've had to extend the amount of chests. This is about as many chests as I can fit in here. And I'm hoping that these will suffice. We have, let's look at the number. We've got 55k ore left there. And that's all the ore left. Everything else is gone. Everything else is gone. So while we wait on that, instead of just, twiddling my thumbs, I'm going to actually try to do some work. I've done some band-aids here and there. More band-aids on top of band-aids. I did, in fact, this whole line was doing more than compressing a belt, so I split it in half. It's less than 2 compressed belts, but it's more than 1 compressed belt. So what I did is I just ran it down here, past all the stuff that needs it, and I just fed it back into the line to help with our blue circuit production, which has sped up quite a bit. You can see the robots. Oh, look at this. Let's follow the wave. Heading to, like, a bunch of modules just finished, I bet, right? Yep. Okay, but one thing we can do is we can work on the design for the bridge leading out of here, north and south. This thing is, it's time to expand it. It's not only been a hazard every time I drive up and down it, but now it's harder to predict if I'm going to get hit by a train or not because I have more in the system. I can't just look at, like, is the iron one there? There's more going on. So it's time to update it, and I did a few little sketches here just for ideas. And I started with this, and at first I was thinking that just to conserve space to make the bridge thinner, we would have a central lane to drive down, and it also needs to be scaled to these rail lines, because that is the center we've been working on, so it needs to line up. If you don't line up with the rails perfectly, it would be off-center. But anyway, I was going to do it like this, without lane swappers. And I thought, well, it's probably fine if we just do a lane swapper before and a lane swapper at the end of the bridge. And then once we get out into the continent up there, we can just have periodic lane swapper, should be fine. But the only thing is it just looks kind of boring. I want to do things efficiently, but every time I do something in this game, I want to have a second question. Is it cool? Is it cool? No, it's not cool. Definitely not cool, man. So I've been doing some... little sketch over here, just trying little design ideas, thinking about using the hazard concrete thing and lane switchers. And also, because we have this overlay of the power grid, I thought it would be more interesting than having this straight grid to actually have the, try to do some hexagon or diagonal lines or zigzags or something with power poles, just to vary it up, make it a little bit more interesting. And so I was thinking, okay, well, how do we make that actually something that makes sense when it comes to the grid we're working on with the island and in other areas? So I was looking at the grid that substations make, and I was trying to see, like, okay, well, if we just do max length, what is the grid? How do these two guys sort of line up next to each other? Because I never really measured it out, to be honest. And this is what it is. So you can actually see if you just look over them. Wire reach 30. And this guy is a wire reach 18. So if you put 4 power poles down, 3 lengths long, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 lengths of the substation. So I thought, okay, if I want to do diagonal lines, we will start there. And instead of having 3 lengths equals 5, we'll have 3 lengths equals 4. Easy enough, right? Okay, so this is what we'll do. We will put this guy here. Line him up. Are you still straight? Yep. Okay, we'll line you up like that, and then we will move this guy off center as far as we can and have him hook up to both. Looks like we can go way over here. Yeah, so we might try to work... Like, that is still on the grid, even though we're doing this crazy zigzag thing. That's still on a recognizable grid. Because obviously we want to make blueprints for our rail system so we can just stamp it down and that the ends meet and then it makes sense. And we don't have to, like, do little fiddly things every time we want to add something. So there's really not enough room here to fiddle with these guys. These guys aren't to scale, obviously, because the power poles go longer than that. So what I think we're going to do, we're going to load up a car with a bunch of supplies. We'll come out here and we will try some different designs. All right, let's check the traffic situation. This guy is about to take off. Now he's got like 700 left. Anybody else coming this way? Here comes somebody. Okay, let's go. Let's risk it. For the biscuit, how much does he have now? 470. Okay, so he's going to take off in like 30 seconds. We should have time to get by. Hopefully this is the last time or one of the last times I have to do it this way. Okay, success. We did not get hit. I cleared out a bunch of trees up here so we could have room to play around with some ideas. Okay, so right about here, we will start with what I already did. Like so. This is for the bridge, and then after the bridge, I'm assuming I don't want to be driving down the middle, because then it's going to be a hassle to, like, get outside of the rails. I'm always going to be worried about getting hit. It's easier to just drive alongside, so we'll have a slightly different design for after we're off the bridge. It also occurred to me, maybe we don't need 6 lanes. Maybe 4 is okay. 4 is actually probably fine, in particular, since I'm going to be using bigger trains, and this is not a distributed network like Meiosis. There will be fewer trains, and yeah, we're going to have like a series of iron trains, a series of copper trains. We might be fine with 4 lanes. That would also make it so that the bridge wouldn't be so wide, but we'd like to keep it fairly narrow. Want to keep the idea that we're on an island, not that we've just like covered the ocean in concrete. Did everything get filled? Yes. Okay, so let's see. What are we missing? Get some extra walls. Guess I don't need those turrets. Got plenty of rails, actually. And then, yeah, concrete's what I'm missing. Or the bricks, rather. Okay. So I want it to look cool, and I was doing some ideas with a wall system on the outside just for cosmetic effect. And I did a few different ideas, and I think these sort of larger gestures are better. These small ones look kind of fiddly unless we use those in conjunction with the bigger ones. But we need to lay this out so it actually makes sense with the grid I was talking about. So we'll just come over here. I think I said 4. So we'll take this guy over as far as he will go. And we'll zoom in super far. Yeah, okay, so is that horizontal? I think so. Yes. And we can't really, I thought about even using some medium power poles because you can get better zigzags and crisscrosses and stuff. But the medium power poles are a 1x1 tile, and these guys are 2x2. So I don't think that's going to work. Maybe for some of the smaller things we do. And then we want to come up here and do the same thing. Yes, okay, I think straight. And we come right here to the middle, and we'll just juke it over until it won't go any farther. And they both disconnect at once. Like that. Okay, so that is our module, and we can mirror it and then figure out how the rail goes on either side. It's going to be fairly similar to that, I guess. All right, so slight problem, and I think this is actually going to help us solve another problem I hadn't mentioned yet, the sort of aesthetic design problem. So given the angle of these zigzaggy guys that we established, I just moved them over. I'm trying to get them to line up so that they don't overlap the rail lines and they don't crunch down my the road that we drive down in the car. And right now, they're not gonna fit. We either need to make the thing way wider or we need to do something to make it smaller. So I think what we're gonna do, because we can always expand the bridge later, right? But when you put the landfill in, that is permanent. When we expand this bridge, that's a permanent move. So we may as well start with a 2-laner. So right now, this is not going to work, right? Because this is going to be in the way of the rail line right there. So what we'll do, I think this will work. Make our bridge a little slimmer. It's on a diet. And so we'll move this. And instead of having this power pole... At first, I thought we would have like a hexagon where there would be a power pole on either side of the road. But that's way too wide. So we're going to have them zigzag. And... instead of having the rail, having it on the inside of the rails, what we'll do is we will have it on the inside of the rails, but the outside of the road. And that gives us extra space to do some cool, like, little designy stuff, zigzag in and out. little detail-y bits so that the road isn't boring either. Maybe that can look cool. All right, little progress report. We are definitely getting there. We are verging slowly but surely into the land of cool. Functional yet cool. I've been adapting this sort of wavy, it's kind of like, it looks like a phoenix. If you rotated it 90 degrees, do I still have the blueprint for that? No, I destroyed it. Okay, let's try this real quick. Maybe I can use this as inspiration. So if we take this and we rotate it like this, and then we find the, oops, those are the wrong things. The middle, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yep, okay. So there'd be like a bird, like a Native American thing. Yeah, okay, kind of whatever. It's just a image to put in your brain. So I've adapted that for the inside. It's no longer a straight line that is boring. Got a nice zigzag here. And now we need to adapt the same thing for the outside. The only thing I sort of foresee is that it's going to be fairly dark because our lights are spaced pretty far apart. So let's just see what we can do with some different types of power poles and how far they will stretch. And what do they look like on the map? And this design is going to be a little bit more minimal once we get out onto the mainland. I don't think I'm going to be using all this concrete when we stretch our rail lines for like millions of miles. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay, so potentially we could use these guys. That's as far as it'll stretch, and as far as it'll stretch. Okay, and then maybe I don't know if I'm going to do this. I'm just trying things out. We could put you like that. Okay, quick save, hooray! Makes it into at least one video, every video once. Okay, so then we could just put a little light sort of at different intervals, like that. Bracket on either side. What does that look like? It looks a little weird, but it does give us more light, gives us more detail. Okay, another update. I think I'm getting pretty close. Instead of using the medium power poles, I use substations. It's a lot simpler, cleaner design. We got like a zigzaggy idea going on, which is what I wanted in the first place. Looks nice and detailed. Like when we zoom out, it's gonna look cool, I hope. Let's go ahead and let's make a blueprint. I think I can delete these now. Let's make a blueprint and copy it over, and then we'll make a version without the lane swapping, which we won't use that often. Let's see, what is it? Oh, that's the substation outlines. We'll just put it like way over here. Wait for my robots to do their thing, and then we'll get rid. I suppose I could have manually edited the blueprint, but I do want a copy of that one as well. And it won't take much to get rid of the signals. We will, what I'll probably do is get rid of all the signals and just put a normal rail signal instead of a chain signal there in the center of the thing. We don't want, because I'm using longer trains, we don't want signals too often. Come on, guys. What are you missing? You are missing all kinds of stuff, aren't you? You're missing walls. Let's go grab the car. Dude, where's my car? Got all the extra stuffs in the cars. Yeah, try and catch me. Try and catch me, robots. Try and catch me. All right, so stop it right here. Get a bunch of these. Bunch of those. I might have to go back and get even more. This is going to be really expensive. Probably not, oops, probably not going to do the concrete stuff for the extended rail line because that is going to take a stupid amount of materials. But for the bridge, we want the bridge to be pimping, and we're going to use a similar level of cool design on the main island itself. Oh, let's check on this. 22K. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, guys. I probably need to make some more of this. There we go. Get rid of that. Can I? Oh, I can manually. Okay, we can tell them not to do that. Click on that. Click on that. Get rid of this. Leave that chain signal there. Get rid of this one. And that one. And that one. And then we should also connect it up to power. There we go. Those lights aren't flashing on and off. Come on, robots. We really need to get to work on this infinite research so we can get to worker robot speed. Need to get that buffed up. Is that missing, or I didn't run out? Is that missing on the other side? Hey, no. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, so then for this side, we're going to get rid of all... Let's just run up one side and down the other. We'll get rid of that and fill that in. Get rid of that. We're going to replace this with normal signal. Ba-doop. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And you. And these little gaps I left in the wall, we will fill in. The only reason they're there is... Oops. Because I needed a space for the signal. Replace that. Okay, now we've got two sets that are equally detailed. I think it needs something a little bit extra, though. Oh, yeah, that's more like it. A little bit more bling on our bridge. We have a rainbow road, or at least we have blueprints for them. I think everything checked out. I've gone over them and make sure there's no, like, miscellaneous wrong-colored concrete underneath the walls and all that kind of stuff. I like the design. It tiles just fine. I like the design. It tiles just fine. Okay, so let's make some final blueprints, and let's head back to the base, get a bunch of materials, and start laying this stuff out. All right, so the next step is to expand the bridge with the landfill before we can put the blueprints down. And, well, if I screw this up, landfills are permanent, so I made a save so I can just revert it if I screws it up. It should line up right with that wall. I measured it, so I'm just going to run straight. Should be fairly straightforward. And an autosave. Oh, wouldn't be a YouTube video without at least 3 of those. Clogging up the video. Okay, and then just run back the other side and do the same thing, and we can start laying out the blueprints. Pick up these, our old temporary boring rail line design first. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. So we are going to start it right here. We're 7 substation blocks. That's what this is, my little counter. 7 substation blocks from the center where our factory is going to go. Made a blueprint book. I actually had to reconfigure these blueprints. I had to lay them down and make the rail a little bit different because it was, as you know, rails are 2x2 and they only go 2x2. And I had it configured so that the power guys were like this when they needed to be like that. So I had to like basically take the whole thing back up there, lay it back down, and strip it and put it back together and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna put one there. Let's see. We're gonna start the other one right at this substation block. So it will be at exactly to the meter. The same distance from the center of our factory, center of our Tootsie Roll Pop. And it looks like we're going to have like 1 straight and then 1 swap and then 1 straight. And maybe actually we'll do 2 straights, 1 swap, and then 2 straights, because on the other side to the south, it's going to be about this length. On the west, not on the east. Yeah, I'm thinking 2 straight, 1 swap, 2 straight. It's going to work just fine. This is the straight one, so I should be able to just do this. Should just connect up very nicely. Thank you very much. Okay, check it out, all done. We've got it hooked up to our crappy old temporary rail system, which we'll be upgrading pretty soon. I feel like this is really the first steps towards the final design. I mean, we did put this factory base, the Mark III right there, last episode or 2 episodes ago or whatever. But this is like the first, like, oh, look at that. We've got actual designs and it looks cool and it pops. Oh, you know what we could do? Here, let's just go ahead and run up here a little ways. Replaced a radar. Doesn't really have a good spot for that. Maybe a minor flaw in the design. We'll have to design the other railroad stuff, of course. But one thing that occurred to me as I was laying this down is that you run faster on the concrete. So we did do like a little speed test previously, but perhaps it is time to do a proper speed test. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.